Hello there, and welcome to another Starfield ship review video. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the Trebuchet, or in my case, the Trebuchet 3. So the number just denotes an increase in the tier, which means it has better stats. Aesthetically, though, the ships will be exactly the same, whether it's a Trebuchet base or a Trebuchet 3. So this case, this one has a reactor of 33, whereas the Trebuchet 1 might only have a reactor of 25. So yeah. It's clearly a Shroud Eklund vessel, just looking at the style of it. And I believe it is based on... Or it's not based on a ship, but there's a version of this ship. Give me one moment, I'm just looking. Yeah, there's a version of the ship called the... Sorry, I wasn't at the mic there. There's a version of this ship called the Warwolf, which I believe is a more upgraded combat version of this vessel, which is interesting. Something to keep in mind if you plan on getting this ship, but then you might want to get the upgrade instead. So looking at stats, it's got a fuel of 210. It's got, which is pretty decent. It lets you jump most places. It's got a hull of 814, which for an A-class is very impressive. Shroud Eklund vessels are really good at kind of getting a high hull. And then we've got a cargo capacity of 200, which isn't amazing. It's probably all coming from the cockpit. But all in all, it's still pretty decent. It's got an A-class reactor of 33, which is really, really good. I believe that's the highest class reactor in the game. For A-class, don't quote me. It's got a crew of 5, which again, really good. It's got a jump range of 27 light years, which is really, really good. You can jump to 90% of the locations on the map with this, which is nice. 730 shields, which is... They're good shields, don't get me wrong, but I don't think they're the best. I want to say the maxed A-class shields in the game is like... I want to say it's like 950 or maybe 1050. It's got 3 sets of weapons. It's got particle, ballistic, and missile. You see the ballistic and the missile there on the port side. And then it's got 3 of these particle weapons. Particle weapons are phenomenal. I believe these are the 4 power variants. So let's purchase it. So it's cost me 212,283. Your price may vary depending on the perks you have, but if you find an earlier version, like a tier 1, you'll pay significantly less. So I found this on Titan. So here we are on New Homestead on Titan. Titan is one of Saturn's moons here in the Sol system. Now you could also potentially find this in Narian, in the Shroud Eklund Star Yard. This is quite a common Shroud Eklund ship. But anyway, we're going to really quickly jump somewhere so we can test it out. Okay, so here we are in my usual spot. So just looking at it, aesthetically, it's a very cool design. Initially, I wasn't a fan of Shroud Eklund ships. I found they're very boxy. But the more I kind of look at them and the more I realize the design philosophy, that boxiness is quite good. Like from a lore point of view, like Shroud Eklund ships are very tanky because all of the components and like the essentials are usually tucked inside this like kind of hull system, which is really, really nice. Yeah, it's pretty nice all the same. So we're gonna go and board it while I break my legs. So entryway is around the side because Shroud Eklund don't know how to make a forward port. Hopefully they will at some point. We've got the dual entryway with the ramp and the stairs. And we've got a door, which doors are always really nice. So yeah, first room in, and we have a... First room in, we have a 1x1 storage room with a room going left and going right. Fire, please. So over here at the back, we have a 1x1 storage room again. The ladder going up. We're gonna check this room over here first. So over here on the left we have, this is an all-in-one berth,
that room of yours better be clean next time I go in there.
which is,
I'll get to it, Dad.
sorry, I'm just getting caught off guard by the conversation. So this is, it's a pretty nice room, like from a lore point of view, but I'd probably swap it out for something more useful, like a workshop or a crew compartment if this ship doesn't have one. And we go up again, we have another 1x1. There's the docking hatch above us. And then we have a computer core room here, which isn't too bad. I'd probably swap this out for a control room, just so we can get extra crew, but that's just me personally. And then we go onto the bridge. I really like this bridge. This is my favorite Shroud Eklund bridge. You've got the pilot seat. You've got a lot of seat for the crew. You've got your co-pilot there, your navigator, and then you've got two of these like seats to the side for the weapons officers if you want to do that. Yeah, let's hop in, take her for a spin. So I know when I did a review of the Werewolf already, and that was pretty impressive. So I'm not really sure what the difference is. I know that the Werewolf was pretty similarly set up with the same kind of type of weapons. So being that this is the best reactor in the game, I'm expecting not to have to worry too much about power management, which is always nice. It's got a nice pair of engines, 2 pairs on each side there at the back. Really like them, the Slayton Aerospace engines. So I have a perk that increases my power by 5. So we just have enough. Hold on now. I always forget about this. Just going to show you real quick while we're here. So, fun fact, if you notice there, the engine has like a little pip by it, a little kind of a green. That basically means that you have a companion on your ship that's affecting that, and on this ship, that would be my good man Sam Coe. His piloting skill basically increases your engine's boost speed and base speed by like 30%. So we're going to unassign him for a moment just so we can get him more accurate. So just the more you know. So yeah, so currently we have almost more than enough pips for everything, but if we take 1 pip off the particles. So we've got particle weapons, we've got missiles, and we've got ballistic. Now I'm going to be honest with you, these particle weapons are very powerful. They're the only weapons you really need on this sort of ship. They will shred everything. So we do a quick speed test. So it's got a base speed of 150, which isn't too bad. It's about average. It's got a boost speed of... looks like a boost speed of 600, which is very fast. Really, really good. We're going to do a quick agility test. So pitch is... I'd say it's about like a 6. It's not slow, but it's definitely not fast. The yaw is... the yaw seems a little faster. That's like a 7. And then the roll... yeah, the roll is quite slow, but then the roll's kind of hit and miss. That's the ship itself. We're going to really quickly go down to the planet now and do a teardown. Just coming back real quick to say that I think I landed poorly. I tend to have missed the pad by a little bit, which is kind of interesting. Yeah. My guy nearly got his head taken off. I've never seen that before. But anyway, we're going to do the teardown real quick. Okay, so there's only really 2 levels on this ship because there's not much. I didn't want to pull off the weapons just because it'd be a bit pointless. But yeah, so as for habitat modules, we have the Viking CP-100 cockpit, 4 crew stations, 200 cargo. Behind that, we have the 2x1 computer core, which I would probably swap out for a control room. Then behind that, we have the Shroud 1x1 companionway with a Shroud Connect Pro docker on top of it. And then we have the Spasteel S84 shield generator, A-class, 730 power, or 730 shields. I'm just going to really quickly check what is the highest here. A-class, we've got an A10 there. We have, okay, so it seems like 860 might be the highest here, but obviously there might be other ones that are higher. So as for weapons, the primary weapons we have here are the PB-50 auto proton beams. They've got a range of 3,600, A-class, 6.65 fire rate, and they do 15 damage to hull and shields, and they're 4 power. These are beasts, extremely beasts. I would probably recommend swapping them for... let me see if I can find some. I tend to like the smaller power ones because I find they increase your DPS by a little amount. So you've got these ones here. These ones... obviously, they're kind of a step down here. You're losing out a little bit of damage, but you're basically getting a lot more power, so you can have more of them. And then if you complete the Vanguard quest line, you get these bad boys. These are the best ever. They're only 2 power, so you can have 6 of them. Anyway, just something to remember. And then we have this Sukisasu 19k missile launch from Shinigami. A-class, 5100 range, 81.89 damage, and 4 power. And then we have this KE-31 cannon from Ballistic Solutions, A-class, 1500 range, 3.49 fire rate, 27 hull damage, and 4 power. That is mounted on a Horizon weapon mount. So we've got the R4000 Alpha Grav Drive here from Relodyne, A-class, 27, good jump range. We've got the 500T Helium-3 tank, 210, pretty decent. We have the Spheromatic DC-202 Reactor, 33 power, I believe this is the best reactor in the game for A-class. And then we have a pair of these SA-4330 engines from Slayton Aerospace, 15,240 engine thrusts, 3,220 maneuvering thrusts. So pretty decent engines. And then for the aesthetics, we have a pair of these Shroud Cap A, port and starboard on the front. And then we have two of these Shroud Cowling 1LPTs just here to kind of pull it all together. And then the bottom floor, we have a 2x1 living quarters, which I would probably swap out for a workshop. Actually, you probably wouldn't need to swap it out. So you've got this storeroom here and this companionway. You could swap both of these out and you could put a storeroom. Or you could put a workshop here. And then you could leave this living quarters if you want your crew to chill, but if you want your own captain quarters, you can put it there too. And then we have the Stability Pro landing bay there. And then we have 4 of these AccuLander landing gear here. And then we have 2 more of these engines, same layout as before, just slightly, they're tilted so they match. And then for the aesthetics, we have a pair of these Shroud Nose Cap C. We have a Shroud braking engine here. A single Shroud cowling here. And then we have a Shroud engine brace A. So yeah, all in all, it's definitely an interesting ship. It's very cool. I quite like it. If you are looking at getting the ship, I would recommend checking out the Warwolf, which can be found at the Stroud Eklund Staryard, and just kind of confer with them. They're like slightly different. The Warwolf is all white with a red stripe, which that might appeal to a lot of people. But all in all, it's a pretty good ship. It's definitely one that I just seen the price and I was like, that's really cheap. But then I realized that that's my sell price. Like, it's not a bad first ship if you're upgrading. If you save up and upgrade, you can't go wrong with Stroud Eklund vessels. But yeah, let me know what you think of this ship, guys. Have you flown it? What's your opinion on it? Don't forget to check out my other videos and also subscribe. Thanks for watching.